when I'm around positive people, positive things happen. You're not going to be miserable around me. I'm just not going to allow it. We're going to find something to make someone feel happy about who they are in life.
Welcome to the Magic Hour, shot here at Sobu in the French Quarter, whose motto in life is where life is meant to be lived, not endured. Special guest today on the Magic Hour is Nathaniel Lancaster, aka Coach D. And very unique connection going down here because Coach D actually lives in New York.
Yes.
And we met during the NBA All-Star Weekend here in New Orleans this past February. First off, welcome to New Orleans.
I'm glad to be
Welcome
here.
back to New Orleans. And
Glad.
we are very excited that you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Coach, what would you say drives you in the work that you do with the youth?
What drives me with the work that I do with the youth is that, you know, every kid has a parent, or I hope every kid has a parent, or every kid has a guardian that oversees them. And what drives me as a coach is the way that the children look up to me and the way that I can interact and engage with them. And you'd be surprised on how a lot of people say you're not role models. We are role models. And coaches are role models. Coaches, to me, is another entity of a parent. Because you put them in the right direction, you let them know what they need to do right, you let them know what they need to do wrong, and it's not so much on the basketball court, it's off the basketball court as well. When I'm home in New York, I have kids run up to me on the supermarket telling me how they done in school. That to me is a role model. That to me is what drives me, because it's not only just teaching them basketball. I want to make a difference in kids' lives going forward, not so much on the court.
We talk a lot about accomplishment, but not from a straight line and you're going to go just get your goal. It's going to come with a lot of ups and downs along the way. How does Coach D respond to life when you have an obstacle thrown your way? What's a strategy that you use?
Well, like my mom always said to me, things are not always going to be as bad as it is. And if it is, you have to bounce back, because life wasn't handed a handbook.
Another word we use is a lot in our trainings with students is the word vitality, feeling fully alive. Tell me a story or a moment as Coach D when you feel fully alive.
I feel fully alive, and I feel totally in my element when I'm in front of hundreds of kids, because I know that my voice is the only voice that's being heard at that time. So that's power. So when you have to take that power and turn that into positive energy, because you can give anybody the mic, but what's coming out that person's mouth is what really works.
If you're in a room right now, 200 college students who are the leading ambassadors of that school that are influencing the lives of the prospective students coming to tour that campus, what's some advice that Coach D would leave those students to make a connection with these families?
I would tell them, go for all your goals. Maintain your schooling, maintain respect, because respect to me is earned. And if you approach some things with respect, you will get that. And that's a big stickler for me as well. I will tell them, go for your goals, don't settle for anything else, and sky's the limit. Especially if they're in school now, because that's one thing. If you go to college and you maintain an average college score, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. It's just that much harder, in my mind, if you don't maintain that college degree or go to college. So that's what I would encourage. That's what I would encourage. Even though the times are rough, if you want to be a doctor or a lawyer, I know the bar exam, I know the medical exams are hard, I know personal training is hard, but if you're in college and you can graduate college and do well, because going to college lets someone know that you're able to learn. So you already did half the battle. So if you can fulfill that dream, the rest is history.
And as it relates to your role as a coach,
okay.
And when you think about the impact that you're making in people's lives in a positive way, which you shared,
Yes.
What do you feel at the end of the day when you're doing that work?
Well, I can tell you a little story. At the end of the day, you know, my trade was office manager. I was office manager at big-time law firms. I was office manager at big-time investment banking firms on Wall Street in New York. Suit and tie, corner office. It was great. Paid the mortgage, paid the bills. But at the end of the day, I felt a little empty. And I always said, I always wanted to go to work in shorts and a whistle and maintain the same, living status. And I mean that, and I'm doing that right now. So at the end of the day, for me to touch upon millions and millions of kids, which I'm hoping to do, that's gratifying for me. Touching kids' lives and making kids the best kids that they can be.
And when we met, we talked about this dream of this free clinic that we could run for the youth of New Orleans.
Absolutely.
And we're going to run our first one this upcoming weekend. And one is we're grateful for you to think of New Orleans as a place where you want to come down and help the youth.
Absolutely.
And very much so looking forward to what we could create and build from this experience here that we're going to kick off.
Yeah.
And
I'm excited about that because what I like about this trip is because the NBA is abroad right now. So not only can I stay in New York and do New York things, as I had mentioned, I'm going to Indiana in June, doing things with the Sixers, and now I'm doing things with the Pelicans. So that alone, I'm touching not only kids' lives, but kids' lives in different states. And that's primarily what my goal is. So if I can touch as many lives as the NBA would allow me to, I'm willing to do it.
Any kind of lasting words of coach, like, are there certain coaches that have really influenced your philosophy of coaching? Like that you've really kind of learned from or look to when you think about the impact that you're having as a coach?
Well, last thing I would say is confidence builds character. Everything that you do with confidence, and that builds your character.
Something that I've started on this show, that everybody who sits in that seat is getting their own pair of Last Pages.
Right.
Coach C, it's a pleasure, an honor. We're excited about what we're going to continue to do.
I can't wait.